Welcome to State of Play. And we are talking still about Napo, Matthew Opoku Pempe. He's won the race, so what now? It's a fundamental question that everybody's asking. And by the way, I was just checking X.
Why are you starting from X?
But it's trending.
Okay.
It's trending. You know, and I see that Napo is still in the trends. In fact, if you do the top 5 trends, is Bawumia, Napo, number 1 and number 2, and sometimes they alternate. Napo goes up, Bawumia comes down. Now, if you...
It's very good, actually. Yeah, candidate and his running mates are top trending issues.
Have you been to Twitter?
Oh, no, they say bad news is still...
So you know it's bad news?
Oh, yes.
They're turning for the bad news.
I have reviewed it. 80% is bad news. But bad publicity is still good publicity.
So here is the thing, though. So he won the race.
Yes.
You had Otunfo admonish him, advise him publicly. Openly.
Yeah.
We thought it was a good thing he did.
Yeah.
He analyzed it.
In fact, he basically cleared the slate for many people.
Yeah.
So start afresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, if you had just left it at that, and they had not done the Jubilee, the political capital from that would have been huge.
Very huge.
Would have been huge because he really cleared the slate. This was Otunfo speaking, gave us an insight into Napo we haven't seen or heard before. And then Napo speaks and makes the point about Nkrumah. Now, this is my thing about it. Is the MPP running the elections against Nkrumah?
Not at all.
Is the MPP running elections against John Mahama and NDC?
Yes. Okay. They are their opponents. It's either you or them.
So when he mentions Akufo-Addo being the best president and has achieved more than any other president in our history, and wanted to name one of the presidents, the person you will mention is your direct opponent.
Yes.
You say John Mahama.
Because that's what you want people to know and stick in their heads when they are going to the polling booth.
But then he goes back to Nkrumah, way back to Nkrumah, and say even more, how do you say it?
Mokwame
Nkrumah. And immediately I'm like, but why? Nkrumah is dead. He's gone. He has a monument, not only in Ghana, across the continent, elsewhere. They celebrate him.
Yes.
They're not. This election is not a race between yourself and Bawumia against CPP and Nkrumah.
In fact, earlier today I was even saying that, see, this is a party that claims they are going for reconciliation talk. 6 months to an election. The party is almost dead.
You know?
So they are not competitors. In fact, if even the NDC drops out of this race, your opponent will never be CPP.
I'm like, but why? Meanwhile, the real reason you were on that stage was because you want to win an election against John Mahama.
Yes.
So isolate John Mahama and talk about how the Bawumia Nanado ticket have performed better than him. And let's debate it.
Again, it was done by Nanado
himself.
He, the president, he did it. Bawumia too came and delivered further on that.
And did it.
And with all due respect, for a very long time, there is no way I could say that Bawumia is a better speaker on any platform than you, Matthew Opoku Pempe. Because I've heard him speak elsewhere. When he's composed and delivered, he may do the jobs, but he speaks better than Bawumia. But this was your seminal moment.
Seminal.
So important that we are unveiling you to the rest of the world.
And you know something that was
post-advice.
Something that was obvious to me, and this goes beyond him, but also the team around him and the party. You are outdooring Napo. In fact, if you look at this year in terms of the activities that we all expect, political activity that we expected before, the unveiling of Bawumia's running mate arguably is the most anticipated.
That's true. Since last year.
It's the most anticipated.
Yeah.
There was nothing that the NDC was going to do that you can predict. There was nothing.
Predominantly, Nana was most likely the person.
They will adore. as for JM, he'd won a long time ago.
And Nana has done the same speech before,
Yes,
so
same
it was
speech
not
before,
like
it
we are going
wasn't
to be
new.
surprised by anything.
They will put out their manifesto. We know
Yeah.
it's, you know, largely the same old thing. They'll rehash somewhat. So there was nothing new. Even for the MPP themselves, they finished their primaries.
Yeah.
Bawumia has been elected. They'll do. So if you look at apart from even the EC thing, that was also very predictable as a timetable. The only key political event that was different, nobody could, we had anticipated was his name was, but in terms of the outdooring
or how it was going to be done.
How it was going to be done, it was this one.
And it was done, and I can give them the plaudits for it. The Mensah.
No, we'll come
display.
to that. There's a lot to say about that.
Yes.
But my point I was making with this is, you cannot have such a monumental event and not prep for it. That's true. As in his speech.
That's true.
You know?
There was no coordination.
No.
There was no order. He kept even repeated certain things.
The things he was saying was off the cuff.
Yes.
I'm like, no. Yes, it's a rally. But you rehearse what you say because it's not an ordinary rally.
And again,
it is an
not
unveiling.
See, Akufo-Addo has an extraordinary way of him speaking at TV rallies. He will throw the jabs.
Yeah.
He comes back, coordinates nicely, and asks people to actually, he receives the response.
Yeah.
Then actually delivers more. So as for Nanado, you cannot take away even his rally talk. Because his rally talks have been powerful speeches.
Yeah.
He will throw jabs that you will feel it wherever you are seated and say, yeah, the man is delivering.
And I want to tell you something. I don't know if you noticed.
And it appeared even the president prepared.
In fact, I was coming to that.
Yes.
Apart from the president, I don't know if you noticed, his direct boss now, Bawumia, had a paper.
True.
And whilst everybody was speaking, he had done this.
Yeah.
It was
looking at making changes.
Yeah. Thing, and then, do you notice?
Yes.
And then he put it back. And he went and he delivered it. In fact, when he came to sit down, he picked it again. Almost to say, did I deliver on the points? I didn't see Napo once.
That's true.
And it was very obvious when he started speaking that
no coordination.
Yes.
It was not properly thought through.
Yes.
It was, so even the people who are the target of the jabs were not like in order. So it's not like in any coordinated form. And in this case, unless he said, listen, let me be, I will blame the team. Whoever was supposed to let the man go, put his best foot forward, failed him 100%.
And that's the tragedy for the MP.
Yes.
Because they got caught up in a moment and forgot the most important thing.
Yes.
The outdooring.
The human being.
The outdooring. You are outdooring him. As for the Tunfor Palace, he was not going to speak.
Yeah, he was not. In fact, he was just going to receive. Yeah.
So you prepare him. You chose a rally, so that's fine. But just like his boss, we saw going through what appeared to be notes. Just like Akufo-Addo, who came very composed and knew
well-coordinated delivery,
where to start, how to end. You didn't see that same coordination with, if you made a point, about from Napo. And then he kept on repeating the thing.
Yes.
He kept on going back. It was all over the place. Even his body language, he was overdoing it.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, he was possessed.
Yes. And he said it, I'm excited. But that is not the moment to show the best of your excitement.
No.
Because that speech was going to mark the beginning of your entry into the presidency at the highest level.
Yeah.
That speech was going to signal what you were going to do going forward. And listen to even how Kennedy Japan spoke.
Exactly.
I mean, this is Kennedy Japan with all due respect. He spoke and got rousing response.
Yeah.
And ended up still saying the same thing, that kick out the NDC. Don't follow them. We are still your alternative. The same thing, oh, but the format, even Kennedy Japan.
And unfortunately, for the MPP, they finished this. And I'm trying to recall what Napo said that I remember. And I struggle. I remember his body language.
Yes.
I remember the way he was trying to move all over the place. Definitely remember them.
The jump around and you go forward and come back.
You know the thing, I know the country has been about Nkrumah. I know the biggest thing that hit me when he said it, he again didn't appreciate where he was. Constituency he was in, when I say constituency, not only the area, but the region he was in.
Yes.
When you say that Nanado, in terms of achievement, is the best since independence in all spheres, that includes a man the Ashantis revere, celebrate as their epitome of success, other than Otunfo. And who is that?
John Ajekunkufo.
John Ajekunkufo. So you're actually telling them.
And again, yes, it's true.
Yeah.
I know so many people in Kumasi today who argue with you that, yes, hey, please, the Fourth Republic, the best president is John Ajekunkufo. They will tell you, they will fight you about it. They'll say, in fact, that's not even a debate that they are willing to engage.
In terms of Ashanti excellence,
yes,
they put Kufuor out there for you and say
100%.
If you take Otunfo out of the picture, it's him.
Yeah. And
so to say to the people of Ashanti region that in the history of this country since independence, Nanado is the best in terms of achievement, you say that he's better
than John Kufuor.
To Ashantis, in Ashanti, at Jubilee Park, when you've just moved from
Mensah.
I'm like, no.
And to be fair,
something was very horribly wrong with, and you know.
So that's what happens when nobody thinks through it before coming to say it.
Absolutely.
Because some of those that pointed this out.
You can't do that.
Yes. Some of those that said, no, please, we can't go this way.
Even if you were in Accra.
Yes.
You know, it'd be mitigation, because even for an MPP leader to say, and you know, the smart ones in the party, when they want to make this point, they'll say, Nanado and Kufuor are the best.
Yes. And we have the best tradition, we have the best history. That's all that they say.
They'll say, and they'll build up from Kufuor.
Yeah. That's
they'll
true.
jump Mills, jump John Mahama, and put them together and say, he built this, did this, and this one is continuing.
In fact, even in economic records comparison, they will mention the achievements under Kufuor, then bring it to John Mahama and say that, in between, they did some things which were not good enough and all of that, which would have been the expectation that you would have followed. And in any case, the Apejafie that you so claim, that's the same house that Akufo comes from. So I'm sure he would understand. But the people that you are sending the signal to, especially when the Kufuor's blessed child appears to have been out of the party. I don't know if you get my point. Which was a big problem for many Asantes about what the MPP is doing and where the MPP is headed. So again, I agree with you, but I think it's also another sign that there was no proper coordination, proper thinking through of what he was going to say. So the man was left to go now to praise the man because President Akufo-Addo is here. My boss, who also gave me a job, is here. So I should be able to say these things to them. If this was written down, somebody would have highlighted that and said, no, you can't do that.
We've all done extempo before, but when the occasion is that momentous, you would rehearse it.
And this one, you never get again, unless you are appointed. Another one.
Have you heard that tonight? They have bought airtime to address the nation on this matter somewhat. I mean, I've just come in because I was asking around, and they confirmed to me that they've come to negotiate for airtime around 7 to 8, and it may be a press conference of a sort where he himself will address it. The thinking is that they may get him to sort of do some damage control. We'll wait to see how this whole thing plays out.
You think about it.
You know,
his other statement, post making this statement to a chief, is that when you speak the truth, the people think you are arrogant.
Raymond. And Raymond, here's another monumental.
In the Western region.
Thank you very much. That's what I was coming
to. Of all places in the world.
In Nkrumah's region.
Western region.
In Nkrumah's Western region.
And you go and look in the face of chiefs.
And tell them that you insist that Nanado is so better than Nkrumah.
So this same thing that he's saying was he able to say that thing to Otunfo? When Otunfo spoke to him, maybe in private, was he able to tell him that when you are truthful, they think you're arrogant? Is that the excuse he gave him? I mean, see, it's. I have said before, and you know my position on the choice of Matthew Opoku-Pempe. I said it was a mistake. I said it was a monumental mistake because it is 6 months to an election. And the first outing statement and speech of the gentleman who is supposed to compliment, and if you want to believe Winston, who is not supposed to take anything away from you, is basically taking everything away from you. it's almost as if today I've heard Bawumia speak, but the back and forth on social media is predominantly about an Nkrumah who's not in the election.
Nkrumah who is not in the election.
No, why? In any case, see, assuming you forget about any other thing, if it is just pure politics you are doing, why would you engage in a waste of your time on a matter that has no relevance to your electoral fortunes?
Mere fact that you have their money to resurrect the CPP. I haven't seen a statement from them.
Me, I knew this morning. I was saying the party that is purportedly holding, they issued a statement and now they claim they are holding reconciliation talks in hopes of revival. Are you serious?
But they're going to ride on this.
Yes. Yeah. And because
Napo has done a job for them.
Yeah, because it's enough. I've seen people who throughout history have always been Nkrumahs but have supported MPP all through. Because they have a problem with Jerry John Wallace at the core. They have a problem with the NDC. All of a sudden say, what are you saying? What really are you saying? Do you mean it? Do you want us to go back in there? But why would you even want to create enemies of people who would have naturally been your allies?
And you know, Raymond, again...
He has to be forgotten. There was a time that the MPP backed down and sponsored candidates of the CPP to contest election in this country. So, and see, assuming this election goes into a second round, watch it. In 2000, there was a second round.
Yes.
In 2008, there was a second round.
History says we are more likely to have a second round this year than any other year.
If it goes into a second round, which people will you be relying on? These same small parties and non-existent ones, third parties, to come to your aid. Assuming, and look at this country, the third parties, they are more Nkrumahs aligned more than any other group. The PNC, the CPP, all of the other ones, they're all predominantly Nkrumahs aligned. And you are so happy that you are going to lie before the same people and say, oh, even though we're better than you, now let's come together and form alliance. So even on strategic electioneering thinking alone, it was also poor.
And I was saying with the issue of strategy, we did analysis and said, what Otumfuo did, and let's come there, what Otumfuo did for...
monumental.
It's monumental. Otumfuo had never been this, well, everybody is my son, but he's never been this personal, this intimate
history
about any individual. Lays the foundation, gives you a clean slate.
Yeah.
If you doubted Napo was arrogant and you're not sure, they say he's arrogant. So he says, that's not how I raised him.
Yeah. You have the greatest chief in this country vouching for you.
If he did anything wrong, don't throw him away with the back. Come back to me, I'll resolve it. Now, after that, you zip, you take that and you run with it.
Everywhere.
You milk it for the cow, for the goat, for the sheep, for everything you can find. Milk it.
I know an Alan supporter in Kumasi who said, see, by that statement alone, if you are seen out there really hitting hard against Napo, it will sound as if you are hitting hard against the eye of your Otumfuo.
And I make the point.
Yeah, it will be difficult for you to do so, even if you want to do it and do it openly.
What Otumfuo said above all else, without saying it directly, is that I have a personal stake
or interest in him.
I have a personal stake in his success.
That's true.
Or otherwise. And that if he fails, it reflects me. It reflects on me.
Yeah.
It reflects my failure. Because as a father, I've raised him, coached him, advised him, sponsored him, paid his fees. And so I have a right to advise him, to reprimand him. Again, if he fails, it's me. I have a stake in him. So if you're in Ashanti region and you hear the soul of the kingdom say that about a man who is partnering another person on a ballot you'll be making a decision on. When you go into the booth, goodness me, you say, well, if
Nananti.
So those who have not made up their minds before, who are struggling, he helped them make up their minds about the ticket. So
I've not seen my entire life Otumfuo, this or the previous one, make such a connection with anybody.
No.
The way he did it. Scene before. This was good for him.
So the next day, first of all, it was bad strategy for him to move from Ashanti, and the next day he's in the Western region. Bad strategy. You stayed there.
Even if you wanted to do so, you go there with a different language.
Completely.
Yes, you go there with reflection.
The both of us know that in comms, look, every controversy has its lifespan.
That's true.
If you don't fuel it, it dies a natural death. If you don't fuel it.
That's true.
If you don't say anything directly yourself, if your team, everybody keeps quiet, media, there's as
Yeah, because we can't force people to speak to it.
There's so much we can do.
There's a limit to what you can do. Anyway.
But when I heard him speak to it and repeat and defend it, you can't help yourself. Because I was in, from the morning, top story was in the evening. Everybody had done it. I mean, you guys have done it. It was in the papers. People have been spoken to, analyze. So the story was tired.
Yes.
Because the first angle,
no fresh angles.
Wasn't. Then I was told, oh, he's spoken himself. I said, okay, what did he say? And I listened. He's defending it.
Yeah, when you speak the truth.
That gives you a fresh angle. And this is purely journalism.
That's true.
This is not, this is what we call news value.
Yeah.
When you go to journalism school, they teach you, it's scientific. How you assess what story to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
By the time you're doing evening, you're looking at news values, currency, fresh angles. Is it new? If a dog bites a man, it is not news. If a man bites a dog, it's news. As of the day before, the dog has bit, the man has bitten the dog. Was what he said,
and everybody has actually done that.
So the next day, it's returned to, it's nothing new.
Yeah.
So it was dying. But when he himself, and again, another thing, Fifi Boafo, in the course of the day, had done some
excellent work for
some great work, trying to do damage control. He sounded so conciliatory.
Yes.
So it was actually conceding a lot.
Yeah.
And you know what I always say? That in politics, when there's controversy and you sit down to strategize, the first question you have to ask is, what do I concede?
Yeah.
Because it disarms.
It actually pushes it to a tight corner, a small part of the conversation.
What can
what else can you say?
Yeah.
The man says that, oh, this one.
And here is Fifi Boafo, his spokesperson.
Yeah.
From the morning, across all the networks, even at midday when I heard him, sounding very mature about it, very calm, but also concessionary about it, and saying to us, that's not what he meant. He didn't mean to denigrate the man. He was just making a factual point comparing records.
Yes.
And he acknowledges, and that's the thing I heard him say, he acknowledges that people didn't like what he said.
Yeah.
But trust me, he didn't mean to deny. But in fact, he said he didn't come out right.
Yeah, it didn't come out right.
He said he didn't come out right.
In fact, when I heard him during the midday news, I said, oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, he actually was, okay, that sounds refreshing.
Anyway.
You know, and he said, when he said he didn't come out right, it shows the humanity of Napo.
Yeah.
Because we all sometimes, you intend to say something, but what you say, what you mean sometimes are different.
Yes, and even though you have selected words to portray what you really wanted to say does not come across as.
And it's only human beings who make that error.
Admits that.
Oh, and so, that's not this one. That's what I meant.
It's not what I'm trying to say. Yes.
And that's what the guy was saying. So I saw, okay, if Napo is asking to come and say this, I in my head I had a picture of Napo. Wow, this guy has.
He's really changed.
Yeah, like he's not for him to admit. So the story had moved on. Then at 4:30, somebody comes and says, oh, but the man has spoken. Listen to the man. I said, I was speaking the truth. The Ghanaians, you don't like the truth.
Yes. And they will call you arrogant because you are speaking the truth.
Yeah.
But I was not trained to lie.
And then he actually didn't stop there. He repeats it.
Ah, come on. In the Western region.
In the Western region. In Nkrumah's home region.
Well.
Like, okay, that's a fresh angle. Let's go.
But, you see.
And then, of course, the rest is history.
There was a time we were even thinking that Napo's greatest influence will be in Asante. Then he goes to Western. Then let's just say, I'm the predominant Akan area too, so let's just give it for it. Then, the people you are supposed to bring together, the people you are supposed to help consolidate your gains with, you are further dividing them along the lines of a man you are not in any competition with.
So, it was in the Western region. They should ask the chiefs of Crawford.
Yeah. Whether if he calls them for a meeting, they'll line up and come and sit with him.
Would they be going to Crawford to ask for votes?
I mean, you see how it sounds like. Already, people have said you cannot go to areas like Kita and all the other things. Yeah. So, about why? If he doesn't go to Kita, he's not the only person on the ticket. Yes, no problem. But now, by your very first move, you are alienating another section of an account population to other.
A huge block.
I mean, what's the point?
I mean, Bawumia can't go to voter region. Remember, but he was also
yes.
good.
Yeah.
The running mate cannot
go there.
I mean, politics is about numbers. So
unless the regional executives do their own campaign.
But the regional executive will get backlash.
That's true. How are they going to explain these things? How are they going to
go to Crawford to go and tell them what? I mean, what? And you know Western region? It's a swing region.
Yes.
I mean, I don't understand the MPP
And they have
strategy.
even now done Western North separate from the Western.
I mean, so what is the strategy here? What is the strategy? First of all, we've said.
I don't think they plan it to go this way.
I mean, we've said Napo, you can't deploy Napo in Greater Accra.
Yeah.
You can't deploy him in Central.
Yeah.
But then you decide to alienate another swing
region that should be possible because that account group would have been a fairly homogeneous society for you to take advantage of.
Of course. And now you've alienated that. I
and
understand.
And your first move on, it didn't take a longer time.
Yeah.
That to say he forgot. Your first move.
Just go there.
And also go and repeat it there.
At
almost
the palace.
as if, yes, before traditional leaders. And I'm asking myself, no, this appears uncoordinated, not properly thought through. But why would that ever be the case?
You know, and the night before when I spoke to
maybe I'm incompetent at appreciating the plan here.
No, but yeah, I
mean, because
maybe
I'm struggling. Yeah,
there's some order in the madness. I don't know. Maybe it may make sense.
Yeah,
but now it doesn't. I mean, when I spoke to Acquah the night before PMS, he says the strategy is to deploy him after Kumasi. He was going to go to the Bono regions, and in fact, he says the strategy you're using was to go back to the way our regions were just after independence.
Yes.
It had not been divided into Bono, Ashanti.
Yeah. So basically, the account areas were together.
Areas were together. So they were going to use that initial geographical boundaries and put them in those areas, and which we said in analysis.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, we thought that too. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I thought the next day he was going to move maybe into Bono and go to those areas that used to be part of the Ashanti region anyway, and just do his thing. And then from Ashanti region, first of all, he shouldn't have gone anywhere in the first place.
I agree.
He should have stayed in the Ashanti region and milk the consolidate. Milk it.
Yeah.
Milk it. Take that message now and go to door, do the constituency in the Ashanti region. Start in your own constituency.
Go from radio station to radio station. Thanking the 024 for the advice, for the support, for the rallying.
Yes.
Thanking Asante, reiterating what the 024 said. Make sure that the entire week is about what the man said, and you breaking it down and you connecting with it, you feeling very happy that a man of his kind is throwing his weight behind you, and that you are so happy that he believes in you and all of that.
With humility.
But these are the things that politicians look for their entire lives.
They don't get.
Yes.
Hey, you know, the number of people who will kill
for
to have for sitting states.
Yes.
Entire
some book appointments that, please, we also want to come and shake hands. We want to come and do our question there.
And get him to
they did a deba for you.
For you. And you don't milk it.
Yeah.
And you leave. So when are you coming back to milk it? I don't understand though.
Maybe that's what I'm saying.
There's some order somewhere.
Yes, that maybe, I mean, yeah, not on the table.
Mere mortal.
Yes, maybe we don't get it. But it appears not to be making sense to us because ideally, sensible people act in certain ways. Or a certain sensible approach has been used before and we know how it works out. Or they didn't anticipate the turnout. And it is forcing them to do things that are out of the main order they planned.
No, but Raymond, unless you don't have a strategy you believe in.
Yeah, I get
if you have a strategy that you believe in,
maybe it's been revised.
You stay the course.
Yeah.
You stay. In fact,
with the hope that this will blow over, then you still get your chance to go through.
If you had a mishap, as in his comment, that's the more reason why you stay the course.
That's true. Yeah.
That's the more reason why you stay the course.
True, yeah.
That's the way don't change the strategy because you are home.
Yeah.
You are home in Ashanti region.
People understand you better.
Yeah, everybody can fight you.
They can forgive you.
Ashanti region, they don't even care about Nkrumah as much.
Yeah. So what's
historically,
the point? You connect. Yes, they are not so much in Nkrumah people.
So stay there until the thing blows away in the rest of the country.
Let the Accra people do their debate on social media.
And focus there. After all, that is why they chose you. That's why.
If they kept repeating that, that's why.
That's why. So stay there. And then the next day, pictures are flying. He's campaigning in there. And my good friend Nabi shared it on the panel. But why Western region?
Yeah.
Have you finished milking that thing that happened yesterday? So honestly, but we've said it here before. When you reach that point in the life of an incumbent, when it's about to unravel,
sometimes the things that happen, as if the world is colluding, coming together. Yeah. They are conspiring against you.
Yeah.
And it's as if you don't control the processes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So by the way, we'll see.
We'll listen to you
I'm
tonight.
looking forward to this event that they are planning because they bought some airtime for it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm
Hopefully
very
they
curious.
can claw back something. I'm so hopeful that they should be able to. You see, me, I've told you about my position on Napo right from the beginning. And any day I maintain that position. Because I really feel that he's not a guy to put into any conciliatory mode or any of the other things. So he's in his usual character. Hopefully things change. They say the guy with the biggest job and the most difficult job in this world should be paid 10 times how much he's being paid if you Yeah, his job, he has to go and renegotiate the pay.
You know, I actually,
job
in the evening, I felt for him.
Yeah, the job
I really felt for him. And in the evening, he was also yesterday evening he was trending.
Yeah,
He was trending.
Yeah, no. That's why even people who don't understand communication know that Charlie, the man will suffer.
Let's read a few coming forward. And Nana, it was up. Like, my director was asking me, what if he comes to apologize in Ghanaian?
Well, we'll take it.
But I don't think he will.
That is see, if you know Napo,
I don't think
there are certain things you should not expect. But he can shock us. He can shock us.
Yeah, but that would be a big shock, eh?
Yeah, he can shock us.
That would be a big shock. Kwame Sapamasi is watching. Kwame, I salute. We have a day too. You haven't called me. This is what I'm putting in the public domain. Call me, Kwame. And then you have Nanaya Bosumpim. Napo is arrogant, no doubt about it. Nana Jima says, you people think you are wise.
No, we are not.
Raymond,
we are just asking for understanding. It is.
So, Nana Jima says that you people think
we
you're
should
wise.
form friends of Napo.
Yes. Friends
of Napo.
How would you?
Full Napo.
You guys are making sense this afternoon. A change is coming, it says, in Jesus' name. Saki says, Evans Mensah has been trying to defend and polish Napo's comments since day one. Well, me trying to defend
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure you listen.
Today.
I'm not sure he's listening.
No, maybe it's not. Maybe you are talking about a different person.
He's not listening to the show, obviously. Wood says, the silence of the person who claimed to be the father and mentor of Napo tells it all. Let's talk about
this one has nothing to do with Tufa. Please take him out of this.
Otufu has done his bit.
Yes.
Otufu has done his bit. He gave them the opportunity to go and milk what he said.
Yes,
they haven't. You can't blame him. He's done his bit. John Goodluck says Napo's thoughtlessness, utterances, and attitude is very strong words there. Deep thinker. I wonder how that Christmas tree thief journalist will manage this.
Well, no,
but deep thinker, why?
We are reading your message because we think you're a deep thinker. Then you are doing this.
Deep thinker deceived us. He deceived us. Saki. Napo Kuju says, well done, guys. Anyway, listen. Tonight,
we wish him all the best.
We wish him all the best. Wish him all the best. We'll see how they manage this tonight.
I wish Fifi Boafo all the best.
I wish Fifi Boafo all the best.
It'd be hard job.
Goodness me. We'll see. Tonight we'll learn more what they plan to do with the airtime that they've bought across the board. Enjoy the rest of your day.